Welcome to another episode. My name is Bertrand. I'm your friend. I'm that guy who's going to tell you what's really going on out here. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, especially when you get out of a relationship, because the world is blurry, man. You don't know what's going on and you're trying to figure out, what did I do wrong and how can I make this better? Can I get another chance? Right? Confidence is key in helping you get past that. Confidence is key in helping you see what's actually going on out here. Now, today is a reaction video, and this one comes from Jada-pac. Jada Pickett Smith. You guys know who I'm talking about. She's confessing her love. And the guy, wait, before we get into this clip, I gotta ask you guys, is this business or romance? And then we just have to really think, wife, companion, fun girl, or gold digger? Most importantly, why? Is there anything to learn from this? Let's check her out.
Not in a million years would I have dreamed that the Fresh Prince and I would become very acquainted. Not in a million years did I imagine 3 lives, 3 fates would be so intertwined. And I never would have imagined that this video would become a tangible memory of the last time Pac and I were simply kids together.
Question. Why does she keep disrespecting Will Smith? What's up with that? I understand that she really loves Tupac and she's going to continue to confess her love for Tupac. But how and why? Because Will Smith has provided a life for this woman that Tupac didn't, right? Tupac is now a spirit man, right? So this kind of shows me, all right, so let's get right into it. 3 things that I've learned. Number 1 is the fantasy is better than the reality, at least in some women's mind. Because when I hear Jada Pickett Smith talk like this, I'm wondering to myself, does she think that she would have actually had Tupac to herself? Like, I'm wondering about that, because I think that she thinks she would have had him all to herself, with no problems, no mistakes, no nothing, just a perfect life. Well, that's why I'm telling you that the fantasy is better than the reality. But for men, for guys like me, I want my fantasy to match my reality, right? If not, I want my reality to be better than the fantasy, because I'm living in reality. Number 2 is she's really in love. She's just in love with the spirit man. And that's okay. But it sucks when you continuously confess that love in front of the man, or to the man that's actually deeply in love with you. Like, I don't understand how Will Smith is able to tolerate this. But then I think and I say, well, shit. Would I deal with this from the woman, the one woman that I actually wanted? The answer is no. Every single time. And the reason why is because it makes me feel less than a man. Now, I'm saying that to you guys because I understand who I am, and I'm looking to continuously grow and evolve and get better. Now, when it comes to this type of situation, this just seems like constant hurt, constant, like just pounding, right? Like, I don't know how a man can actually tolerate this. I don't care what he did. I don't care what kind of mistake he made. I don't care if he cheated on her, because no man is perfect. And a guy like Tupac, I have a hard time believing that he would have never cheated on her. I just have a hard time believing that, whether it could have happened or not. Another thing that I learned is no man wants to be intertwined with another man or another man's spirit. Right? And I'm talking about the spirit man, the man that we all knew, like, meaning he saw this guy live. He met this guy when he was alive, and now he's being constantly reminded. He's being reminded about Tupac more than any of us. His children know who Tupac is. His children, his daughter. If you guys don't understand the dynamic between a father and daughter, then let me just tell you, it is a strong bond. Okay, it is a very strong bond, just like the mother and son bond. Like, that bond is very strong. So for his daughter, for Will Smith's daughter, to write Tupac a letter, that had to be heartbreaking for Will Smith. Now, I'm saying this because he clearly can't express this to Jada, right? Because if he does,
oh my God, what in the...
I'm sure there's going to be some type of battle, some type of fight. And what Will Smith is really interested in is Jada. He wants her. He has her. And in my opinion, it looks like he's not going to give her up for any reason. And that is respectable. But what she's doing is not. But unfortunately, Will Smith put himself in this position where he has to accept this. Fellas, imprints are important. That's why it's important to vet a woman. Now, a lesson that I learned from a 93-year-old man who was married for 51 years.
You're lucky you'll find a woman like I did who will never argue, never fight, never do anything against you.
The criteria that he gave for him feeling like the luckiest man on earth was, he said, his wife did not argue, she did not fight, and she did not do anything against him.
Not in a million years did I imagine 3 lives, 3 fates would be so intertwined.
I would have to argue that Jada constantly bringing up Tupac after all of this time, that is clearly against Will Smith. Now, it's not against him in the sense where it's stopping him from doing anything, but it's against him in the sense that, damn, I gotta hear this dude's name again. Let's put the shoe on the other foot. Jada-pac ain't staying there. She is not. She will leave him. In fact, the majority of women, if you keep bringing up your ex, she might deal with it for a day. In this case, you know what? I actually went on a date with a woman, and I made the mistake of talking about my ex. And she talked about her ex. I talked about my ex more, and she came to the conclusion that I hadn't got over my ex. And I was like, damn, I thought we was having conversation. You was the one who got teary-eyed. I'm just making conversation, but I'm actually moving on to other things, right? The conversation didn't stick to my ex. I actually jumped around talking about finances, helping people, building businesses, right? But for whatever reason, all she heard in her mind was the ex part of the conversation. But I'm like, wait a minute. We talked about like 8 different things. That was a small portion of the conversation. But I'm saying that to give you guys an example. Women will not tolerate it because they want to be the number one. They want to be the center of attention. So if they're not the center of attention, you're going to have a hard time keeping them. I mean, a really hard time, because they're going to be willing to leave. Think about it like this. Women will leave your ass. A wife will leave your ass when she's not unhappy. A wife will leave your ass when she's not happy. So just imagine how unhappy she would be if you're constantly talking about your ex. Like, she's constantly talking about his. She even used this same video, but she put the voiceover as Will Smith. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Fellas, this is why it's important for you to reinvent yourself, because confidence will put you in a completely different position. If that imprint if that imprint is that strong, it'll cause you to make a different decision, choose a different woman, because there are 2 million more women in the United States than there are men. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I want you guys to understand that there's other fish in the sea. So you don't have to get yourself stuck and caught up on one woman. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I definitely had one itis a few times, but I just realized that woman may have a fantasy that's not me, right? And if the fantasy is not me, I'm cool with that. But let's agree to part ways and move on, right? Better mind, better body, better finances. Now, Will Smith has the better finances covered better than anybody that I can think of. right? Because the money that he's made in his career, the accolades, the status that Will Smith has to be one of the most popular men on this earth. He has to be, right? Because he's a mega movie star. Mega. Okay? I just want you guys to understand that, right? And I'm doing this because I actually worked with Will Smith. I actually got the chance to meet Will Smith. Granted, I was doing extra work, and everybody doesn't get approached by the main actor. They'll tell you, keep your eyes down, don't look him in the face, don't say nothing. But Will Smith was a pretty nice dude. Came up to me, said hi, whatever. It was cool. But I just hate to see a man go through something like this because it's crazy. But this is why I tell you guys to adapt to dating. Don't complain, just adapt, because you see where things are going. A rotten apple can make you sick. Now, keep this in mind. What we're seeing is the result of what free will actually is. We're seeing women walk around sexually liberated. It's in your face. They're letting you know it. And they're fighting for more sexual liberation. Now, with this being said, enjoy the hookup culture. Why? Because you have to enjoy this life, because it's the only life that you know of right now, unless you're really into meditating and figuring out what happened in the past life. But even in the past life, you still have to figure out what you're going to do in this one. So I'm telling you, enjoy it. Figure out what your purpose is and do it. Now, purpose breaks down into two things. You're either the creator or you're the person helping. The group of people that are helping a creator. Look around. There's been a lot of things created. The computers, the cars, the foods, right? The dressers, the beds. That's just a few examples, fellas. Make sure you get your life together. Get your shit together, right? Better finances allows you access to a better lifestyle. Now, with all of this being said, I have to ask you guys, have you ever dealt with a woman who was constantly talking about her ex and you wanted her, you loved that woman, right? Has this ever happened to you? Comment under this video. Remember, when you're watching these videos, you are becoming a better version of yourself. That means you 2.0. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.